I ask the real questions, and today I ask, could Master Chief have saved Pickett's charge at Gettysburg? Pickett's charge is arguably one of the most famous failed military offensives. However, Master Chief has led Marines through invasions in extremely foreign environments against much more powerful aliens. Pickett's charge was ordered by Confederate General Robert E. Lee and happened on July 3, 1863. Led by Major General George Pickett, his Confederate soldiers marched through open land in an attempt to break the Union's position at Cemetery Ridge. However, this open land was flanked on both sides by entrenched Union soldiers. The 1F open area offered zero defense for the Confederate soldiers, and the Union was able to pick off enough soldiers for a devastating loss to the Bozo Confederacy. Lee had hoped that this would be the Confederacy's first decisive victory in the North, but instead he was absolutely clowned on. Only a small number of them made it to Union lines, all of whom were quickly overwhelmed. More than half the men in Pickett's charge were killed, wounded, or captured. This is obviously a major tactical error, but if Master Chief was there, would it have gone down differently? First, there is a debate that Master Chief would immediately desert the Confederacy knowing what they were fighting for. This hypothetical would have to assume that he instead chose to just follow orders. Secondly, there are several iterations of Master Chief considering the multitude of Halo games, different weapons, upgraded armors, etc. For simplicity, I will be talking about only Master Chief in the original Halo Combat Evolved. This definitely hurts his chances since the Mjolnir armor only improves with each game, but could Master Chief persevere nonetheless? The first question that comes to mind is whether Master Chief could realistically do anything to save his Confederate soldiers. Master Chief was awoken on the Pillar of Autumn, and within hours of escape podding to a Halo installation, him and a few Marine platoons were able to invade pretty much the entire thing. He single-handedly discovered the control room's location and assaulted it with Marine support. His military victories are swift and decisive. However, many Marines are in fact lost along the way. Master Chief and the Marines were at a stark tactical disadvantage against the Covenant because they arrived there first and established foothold positions. They may have even had enough time to drop tactical Burger Kings. I would argue that Master Chief would be able to cut down entrenched Union soldiers fast enough to save many Confederate lives by spamming grenades into their positions. While grenades were used in the Civil War, UNSC Naval Special Warfare Command standard issue grenades are certainly more advanced. Union soldiers would either have to survive the blast or flee and open themselves to Confederate fire. The only way to stop Master Chief from chucking grenades faster than Shohei Ohtani would be to overwhelm him with fire. However, his armor would make that nearly impossible. Mjolnir armor is not completely bulletproof, or at least its user can still sustain injury from firearms, since Master Chief can take damage from UNSC weaponry, like in Halo Deathmatch, for example. However, these are highly advanced weapons even compared to 21st century weaponry, let alone compared to the revolvers and musket or carbine rifles of the Civil War. The most common gun used in the Civil War was the Springfield rifled musket. It was fairly inaccurate and fired its musket balls at a much lower velocity than modern firearms. This armament wouldn't be enough to penetrate Master Chief's armor from a distance, perhaps only from near melee range. That would require the Union to expose themselves in this open area, essentially removing their advantage, and put them at risk of entering melee combat with Master Chief, which he would win easily. The Union's only hope of stopping Master Chief in a crowd would be with their array of cannons. He would be entirely unaffected by the blast if a cannonball hit near him, so the Union would have to achieve the very difficult feat of hitting Master Chief dead on with a cannonball. However, he is able to tank heavy machine gun fire, plasma gun technology, and being run over by a Warthog. This is because of the armor's blast shields. If one cannonball could gravely damage the armor's blast shields, then perhaps another direct hit immediately afterwards could do actual damage to the armor and its user, Master Chief. The odds of this occurring, however, are incalculably unlikely. If the Union is unable to neutralize Master Chief before he reaches the Union Ridge from melee combat, then I do not believe that they could have won the Battle of Gettysburg. There are no chances of victory versus Master Chief in melee combat. For that reason, I would say that while Master Chief Petty Officer John 117 may have sustained similar losses as Major General George Pickett at the Battle of Gettysburg, he still would have successfully forced the Union out of their position and won Robert E. Lee the decisive Northern victory he had hoped for.